Do we want to go? Do you want to go right into the movie, Justin? Just because it's such a hot topic right now, it's fresh in the
It's an
streets.
HT.
Yeah, we
It's
can.
an HT.
We can go right
We
into it.
can.
We got two guys, obviously Nico and Tommy are not here today that saw the movie. Our movie obviously was Halloween Ends, by the way. I want Justin to take the lead here because this is his big franchise. He's a big fan of the films.
I have my Halloween.
He's
shirt
got his
on today,
Halloween
too.
sweatshirt on.
And I think that they both didn't show up to this podcast because the movie was just so bad.
I don't.
I
Well, I don't think
thought
that.
Nico wasn't feeling well because he was out sucking too much dick. But I mean, you
That's
could be
probably
right
what
on
it
your end too. I
I
don't
mean, that'll
know.
put you right under the weather.
That it could, yeah. I mean, I'm
Not
sure
that
his
the-
throat doesn't feel
All
well.
right. So, not that the movie was bad. Let me just rephrase that. Because at the end of the day, it was a good movie. I was entertained by the movie. But, that being said, it being the last movie of the trilogy and like the final showdown and this and that, spoiler alert, like
Full spoilers on this review, by the way.
the way that they treated Michael, like I wanted a Michael Myers Halloween movie. This movie didn't feel like Halloween. It didn't smell like Halloween. It didn't have the Halloween atmosphere for me. This movie would have been a perfect movie if it came out after,
The first one.
like, yeah, you can say that, but if this was a standalone movie that came out after the
Like the fourth
trilogy,
movie.
if
So
this
like
was a
almost
fourth
like
movie-
so you mean like an anthology, like a Halloween story or,
Or like
something
a
like
pla-
that,
a
like
break
or
in
like-
to another
or,
something else.
or like
Placeholder.
Haddonfield.
right or what? Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a Halloween Haddonfield, a Halloween
Yeah,
story, or
and
some
and
shit.
I think that was the vibe that David Gordon Green was going for. First of all, this movie already smashed the box offices. I don't know if you've seen that, but
Probably.
It's,
That
like
doesn't
it's,
surprise
at
me,
six,
though.
it's at almost 60 million. The budget was only 20. So yeah,
yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
But like, if you look at the fonts for like the marquee when the movie's opening, like Halloween 2018 was like had the same fonts as 1978.
Are you
Okay.
saying the opening credits?
The opening credits.
Okay,
like,
same
had-
fonts. Okay,
So like that's like the vibe they were going for. Now the second movie had the Halloween 2
fonts.
fonts. The third movie had Halloween 3 fonts, which was Season of the Witch, was an anthology film, and Michael Myers wasn't even in that.
I don't even remember that movie. To
I
be
don't either.
honest.
That's the one with
Yeah.
Paul Rudd in it, right?
Yeah, no, that was 5.
5, sorry. Okay.
This was like the Silver Shamrocks with the masks.
So it's like you're trying to say that it's almost like they knew it was an anthology movie.
I think like he wanted to make it that way.
That makes me hate it more. Then
Yeah.
I don't know.
that
if
makes
it-
me hate it
like,
more.
that's
Like if
the
he was
vibe I
actually
get
going
from
for
it.
that, that's
I think listen, so my take would be there's a decent movie in there somewhere. I can't even lie and say that I wasn't moderately entertained by like the storyline and stuff like that. Even as goofy as it fucking was at sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, is this entertaining? Yeah, I'm kind of entertained by this. Did it feel like a Halloween movie? No, it did not.
Yeah.
No, it did not to me. I thought if you're gonna have Michael Myers in this like vulnerable state, Jamie Lee Curtis should be too. I would have liked if they were both like at the end of their rope. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah,
both like
well-
at the end of their
What I think they were trying to do was Michael being in the weakened state, and there was like a lot of plot
But like,
holes.
why is he in the weakened state? Is what I can't figure out.
Well,
That's
'cause
like,
4
he
years
got-
later.
I know, but-
He basically got like neutered from Halloween Kills. They like fucked him up so bad that like he disappeared, was living in a cave, and there was just like a lot of plot holes because like they didn't complete their own story. So at the end of Kills, she's like, the more he kills, the more he transcends, and the stronger he gets, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, I think they should have used the way they used Corey. I thought what they were gonna do is have Corey like feed Michael people so he gets stronger.
that would have made. Well, that's what it looked like they were gonna do with the fucking the cop boyfriend, ex-boyfriend guy.
Exactly, because you see him like hulk up
Yeah.
when he's in the cave. He kills a cop. He like hulks up, and like you see him like get like life back.
But what doesn't make any sense to me, Justin, is your whole. So what they go in Halloween Kills and they go, oh, the more he kills, the more he transcends. It's almost like a, somebody like a Venom. Like the more he eats people, the more he stronger he gets. Whatever, right? So wouldn't he be in theory, Al, at his strongest at the end of Halloween Kills? He just killed like fucking 30 people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But
But
I guess what they're saying is that
Well,
he
that's
did
what
kind of
made
get,
him survive and get through.
Yeah.
Was because he killed them all.
okay, I guess. But see, this
But
is
what
where
would
this is-
stop him from even just like strangling that fucking homeless
the
guy that
homeless
lives
guy
right
outside the
of his-
thing, right?
That's
exactly.
what I was thinking. Why did he let the homeless guy live? And
He's
why
the
did he?
easiest target out of anybody in the whole movie. Just some fucking old gimp homeless guy. Why wouldn't you just fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
And he was killing people the whole time because when Corey first goes into the tunnel, when he comes out, the homeless guy goes, "Why did he let you live?"
No, the homeless guy like knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Michael passed on. So first of all, Michael only kills 3 people in this movie, and 2 of them are assisted, which is the
Right.
least out of this version of the franchise.
yeah.
2018, he kills 18 people.
Mhm.
And he kills 31 people.
Loved it.
In Ends, he kills 3 people. 2 of them are assisted by Corey. So really, the only person he killed unassisted
Was the girl in the house?
was the girl in the house.
So I guess it begs the question: did Michael Myers choke? Did he choke?
Yeah, he choked. But they, like, to answer your question about, like, you would have liked to seen Lori, like,
like at the end of her, like just
Yeah.
really like weak and frail, and like if they were both in that same state, and it was like a both like now this is like everything that we got, like we're going at it and whatever. I wanted this movie to be like a almost like kind of like again over the course of a night, like this cat and mouse game across the whole town. You know, setting traps or whatever the fuck is going on or whatever, just something visceral and in your face and tense.
yeah.
And it was like instead we got like this like mini like natural born killers kind of type thing almost.
It was Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
But horror.
Yeah, that love story that they try to bring in. I didn't buy it. First of all,
Yeah, no.
I
Like,
didn't like it at all.
you met this guy 3 days ago, and you're going to move away with him?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
The worst part is like not even the worst part, but like another thing that took me out of the whole romance story is like the kid isn't even fucking like he's not even like this like stunningly handsome kid.
I actually
he's
read
like-
what the director said, and he said like he's not like drop dead gorgeous, but you could tell he's handsome. They wanted to pick that type of person. Like you could tell that he could be a little evil. Like you got to read the comments. He said like he looks like he's strong, but he also looks like he's weak. Like he was like in the middle of the road.
Does he look like he's strong? He's like 5'6".
I
Dude,
mean, he looks
he-
like Harry
with the
Potter
with
growing
the
up to
worst
me,
with
but-
the worst posture I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
He's
not-
hunched over like this the whole movie.
Not
I'm like,
only that, it's like, dude, you're getting
just
bullied
pushed around by
by
16-year-olds in the band.
in a band kids.
And then
And not like band
then
kids
all of a
like
sudden
rock
you
and
could
roll
take on
band.
Michael
No, like
Myers.
kids fucking playing the
marching band.
tuba, like you know what I'm saying?
Like,
like you
yeah,
could take on Michael Myers. That doesn't make much sense.
yeah, exactly.
But they're like, oh no, Michael was just so weak. They really wanted to drive home how weak he was.
Okay, I really feel like Michael Myers at his peak, at his weakest, is probably stronger than a fucking 15-year-old girl.
Yeah,
That's
no,
just my
absolutely.
opinion.
And what they like, that's how they wanted Michael to end up being killed by Lori is like so Michael was more on her level, and I get it. Like I was mildly entertained by this movie, but I really wanted this movie to be its own thing after, and just you could take Michael out. If you took Michael out of that movie, because he really, and I get it, you read the comments and this and that, it's like, oh, Michael was throughout this whole movie. Michael caused every death. Michael was lurking and following the other people around the whole time. You just didn't see him. It's like,
Those are some fanboy stuff. That's fanboy.
exactly.
You know.
That's Tommy Ianello wanting this movie to be
That's
something
exactly
it's not.
who it is. Now, I like the movie. I would watch the movie again. But I agree that if it wasn't part of this trilogy, it would have been a lot better. But it's a letdown when you do it in terms of the trilogy. Now, I don't know how much Mark's let down by it because he hated kills.
yeah.
So maybe he's not as let down by it. But I think it's a huge letdown because you expected more. And the 3 kills is like like he wasn't even in the movie. He didn't show up, I think, until 37 minutes.
Thought it was longer.
37 minutes in, I believe, because at the beginning there's some flashbacks, but I didn't count that. I think it was 37 minutes in, he comes into the movie. That's way too long.
Yeah.
And that would have been fine. But if for the next like hour and a half he was just fucking people up. But
Yeah,
he's
if
a-
you
he's-
waited and waited, and then if it was a 2-hour movie and you waited till 40 minutes for
he's
him
a
to come in.
subplot.
Yeah,
He's a
and then
subplot.
exactly.
He's a
and then he
subplot, which
goes
is
on a
not
f-
how it should be. for a
Yeah, and
Halloween
then he
movie.
goes on a rampage.
Well,
and
not
then,
only that is the main characters of the past 2 were also just side characters now. Laurie wasn't the main character.
I agree.
Right.
Allison wasn't the main character.
I think
Right.
that if Corey was in all of the movies, maybe it would have been better. Like,
Yeah.
we've seen him in some points, and he had some things happen to him, and then something bad happened to him here, where he ends up killing the kid by accident. Then maybe you could buy it a little more. Like, you don't just drop a character in the third part of the trilogy, the end, the finale, and you just drop this guy out of nowhere, and then expect everyone to be like, even care who he's fucking or who he's gonna fuck. I mean, you would have, like, it didn't make any sense to me. Like, this guy just came out. I had no clue. I didn't watch any trailers. Nothing. I like to go in raw. That
It's
was like,
totally
I
different.
was
if you got,
shocked by
it's,
that.
it's totally different if you got like a Batman trilogy, and in the third movie you put Catwoman in.
Yeah, but Michael,
Everybody knows who this is. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And like,
yes.
it makes sense. Everybody's seen these. Not just some random new kid that like you just invented and he's just there now.
But the thing is, like, if you're gonna go and do these things, you have to go 100%.
Yeah.
Like, don't like, all right, I have this idea. It's like, okay, I'm gonna use him as a battery pack to get my evils. Like, that's why Michael's teaming up with them, and like, he's basically just using him because he's evil, and it's just like, ugh. And when he gets overpowered in the cave, it's just like left such a bad taste in
It's
my
so.
mouth.
It looks so stupid.
It
just
looks
looks
so goofy.
dumb.
They're wrestling around.
The
Yeah,
best
it
part is
just
like
doesn't
what
make
he
any
like
sense.
walks in the like the sewage pipe thing, and Michael's just like standing in the corner.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? It was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
what?
but
I'm like,
I
what
will
is
say
this?
it's like that didn't bother me as bad, because a lot of times they walk into it and Michael's standing in a weird position, like standing somewhere that doesn't make much sense, but he's just there. Like,
no, but it looks optics wise, it looks weird when like it's different if they're walking through a house and he's like standing in a corner. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I guess I
Not
see
like
what
they're
you're
just
saying.
like it's like a long
Yeah,
shot
I
of
see
this
what you're
one
saying.
thing, and he walks in. The kid crawls through the drain pipe, and Michael Myers just standing in the corner right there, like a fucking like. You know what I mean? It just looks weird.
But
I-
like
I-
Michael's apparently following him around the whole time, which is like why like Michael was already in the house. Like Michael knew that he was gonna go kill the doctor and whatever. Like Corey was just revenge killing the whole time of people that like wronged him or like were rude to him or rude to Allison. Like he was
Right.
trying to kill everybody that like
yeah,
either bullied him or was trying to keep their relationship apart. And
like his
just,
mother and stuff.
Was there
yeah.
some
Ugh.
sort of like this was the part I was still trying to figure out. Was there some sort of like paranormal possession in the beginning when Michael looks at Corey? And
Yeah,
then, like,
so
this-
basically Michael was like the evil so the main villain in this movie is evil. It's not Michael. And that's like the theme for all of it. So Michael was just a vessel for evil. The evil was transferred to Corey,
right.
and that's why Corey like lost his mind as soon as he left the cave. He was stabbing people and
Right.
whatever. And then that's why when he stabbed himself in the neck, like he didn't die. And then you see Michael lean over him, and he basically like sucked the evil back out and then snapped his neck. So he had just enough evil to like fight Laurie, and then he just got his ass kicked anyways.
Well, so that was going to be my next question is because obviously the only body that they destroyed was Michael's. So
Yeah.
are they setting up for something where this Corey kid comes back and takes over like the Michael Myers role?
I don't know.
and
Do
we
you
get,
want like a
new-
5'7" Michael Myers running around like ravaging people? You know what I'm saying? That was part of the whole thing of Michael Myers. This big, lumbering, like stoic, fucking gigantic guy that can like hide. You know, that knows how to like hide himself places.
I will
and
agree the size is an issue, I think. But
yeah, I no offense, and
he-
I'm not trying to knock anybody who's that height. I'm just saying, fucking like that kind of ruins the mystique of the entire.
Yeah, and Corey wasn't like a horrible Michael. He had a couple like really creative kills. I just wish they went like either one way or the other. Like you can't give me both and then give me half-assed both.
Right.
Go,
Yeah, if you're gonna
go
go
all
g-
the way
if
one
you're
way
gonna
or
go
the
Bo-
other.
or just go all the way with Bolt.
Yeah,
Like, let there be like 20 kills with each of them, and they just fucking shit up.
yeah, exactly. You
I would have loved if like they kind of became like partners, like him and Michael, and then like Laurie and the
Like a
granddaughter,
tag
like
team type
yeah, and then like
situation, yeah.
Laurie and the granddaughter like had to fight both of them off, and I would have been like, this is like sick, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like this
that
would have
would've
been
been
cool,
awesome.
and it would have been this, like I said, over the course of the movie, this like cat and mouse game,
Like Kane
Them-
and
Yeah.
Undertaker.
yeah, like
Yeah.
them getting chased and stuff like that,
and I
like,
don't like how like Laurie like, oh, what did you already know that he was in the house? Like, oh, you go upstairs and pretend to blow your brains out. and
Yeah, like, what is
shoot a
that? I don't-
pumpkin, and it's
yeah.
oh, there was just so many cringy things, but I wasn't still entertained by this movie. I just like, and I'll say it again, like, I just wish it was its own movie.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
would have liked it if they told me like, hey, listen, we're gonna wait on the third movie in the trilogy, but we're gonna put out this like kind of like spin-off like anthology movie, just to like a Halloween tale or something like that.
Exactly.
I would have been like, this is actually awesome. I
Exactly.
really like
Almost
this
like
a lot.
like what was the Star Wars movie, like Rogue One? Or
Yeah, that's
something
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
this,
Like a
like,
Rogue One,
th-
or
that's
like
what they
Solo.
shoulda did.
Yeah, like a Halloween story or
1000%.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
Like I
you
would
know
have been
what,
like,
what really got fucked up with this movie is this movie. All three movies were supposed to take place on the same night,
Which would have been better. I
and
think.
the pandemic like fucked them all up.
but does that mean you have to change the plot of the movie?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Why
Like,
why do a time jump? It could be just the next week.
that's what I'm.
Right? Like, it
exactly.
doesn't
That's what I
have to
can't
be-
figure. When they keep blaming this on the pandemic and shit like that,
It's like they knew
it's
they
like-
had shit. They
it's like
knew it.
no. It's like you don't have to like
I agree.
live stamp every date, like is
Yeah.
every movie made about like that day that's happening right now? Like no, well, fucking people make movies about the 1800s, fucking the Crusades,
Yeah, and I
you know,
think
40 years in the future.
I think that the reason they really did the time jump was because in all of Kills, Lori she wouldn't have been able to fight Michael because she was stabbed in the stomach. She was in the hospital like most of the movie, and they wanted to be able to give Lori like a fighting chance. And the biggest problem with this last movie is Jamie Lee Curtis had creative control. So it was like a lot of social commentary. It was a lot of just just made me feel
Just here's the other thing is. What pisses me off about this trilogy that they progressively got worse, I guess you could say. Even though I did like this movie better than Halloween Kills, I'm not gonna lie. It's like they alternated. Like Jamie Lee Curtis was like in that movie as much as Michael Myers was in this last movie.
yeah.
Instead of just making the movie about the two, like all three movies about the fucking two of them,
Yeah.
how it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
And my biggest gripe with Kills is like I feel like they just paused the movie halfway through and they were like, now let's talk about like social justice shit, and like that's when they did like all the mob scene and Evil Dies Tonight and all that, and then they're like, okay, that's over. Now we can go back to the movie. Like
Right.
that's how I felt about that movie. Even though I did like that movie a lot, I like all three movies. I wanted you're either a Halloween fan or a Michael Myers fan. It's like I actually happen to be a fan of both, so I'm in the middle.
Mhm.
They just didn't. They missed the mark for me. Like, good thing it was successful, and all three movies made like a shit ton of money.
Shit ton of money.
They
yeah.
always will.
Yeah,
They
so-
always will.
That's
You-
why they'll
so
make another
They'll
one.
make
But you
another
know
one.
what though? The more I think about it, if this was like an anthology, like spin-off, like a Star Wars Rogue One, and they marketed it as that, I might have actually fucking loved this movie. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have just been like, "That's actually a really cool fucking idea."
Just
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
I
campy
love it,
version
and
of
then
it,
like,
yeah.
and then like, he's still alive at the end of the movie, and then that gets you ready for the big fucking shebango in the third
yeah.
movie.
And I think like Corey, they should have kept Corey alive. And to answer your question, Jay Fine, is like, do you think Corey, they didn't destroy his body? Do you think Corey could, whatever? What I think is that Corey got Allison pregnant when they smashed upstairs.
Could be
So I think like when she leaves, that's like one way that they could tie him
definitely
Tie
back
it
could.
back in,
I
yeah.
think he's definitely dead. I think when Michael kills people, they're dead.
Yeah, he snapped his neck in half.
Yeah, 100%. Like he's dead.
And
Finish-
he
finish him.
sucked the evil back out of him that he gave to him to be able to. It's like if you're gonna give
That would
me-
have kept him alive otherwise,
yeah.
probably, or not. But I don't know.
Like I thought, like he did it just to make him like evil enough to bring him people and just basically use him as like a charge.
An
pad.
avatar, yeah, like a yeah, right.
You know, so he can get strong and then start fucking everything.
So
up.
what I actually thought one of the positives of the movie was, despite it being short and a little bit of a blue ball thing, I actually thought the final fight between the two of them was kind of good.
Yeah, I, mean,
I
it was
didn't- I didn't
cool, but
dislike
it. Was like
it.
3 minutes long.
That's what I'm saying.
She
Like
did like 98% of her own stunts. They said so. She did
Oh,
all those
really?
fight scenes.
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
that
yeah,
is cool.
Her head's the one that actually goes into the cabinet, just not with the glass. I think they said.
Right.
So she wanted that to happen. She wanted her head to go through the cabinet with him like pushing it through. So she
Yeah.
did all. I thought that was cool for someone that she got to be like 70, 75.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you this: if I was James Hugh Courtney and he's the guy that plays Michael Myers, like I would have been pissed once I read that script.
Oh yeah,
I'm not in this fucking movie after all of this,
Right.
after everything
Yeah.
I put into
unless
this.
you pay me the same.
Oh, I'm sure they paid him
Right.
very well. It's just
I also like him as Michael.
he's the best Michael that's ever existed.
You think so?
1,000%.
He's been there for so long too, right?
Has he? I thought it was just
these
with.
3 movies.
That's
these-
it. Why
just
did I
these
think he
three-
did H2O?
No, he was just these.
Was
3
that the other
movies.
guy?
I don't know.
There's
who
only
that
been
was.
2 of them.
No, there's been more.
Thought there was only 2.
No,
No, you made that up.
I didn't.
Is that
Who's the
on
Rob
trivia?
Zombie? Who's the Rob Zombie one?
Tyler Mane.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so yeah, then there's definitely more than 2.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
It was like Nick Castle. In the original, there was 2 people that played Michael Myers.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was Nick Castle and I can't think of the guy's other name. Did you ever see?
So I have no clue then.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There must be
the
multiples.
guy. Did you ever see the part where he takes his mask off and you can see his face in the first movie?
Yes.
That's a different guy than the guy that plays Michael Myers
Oh,
throughout
shit,
that
okay.
whole movie.
So they had like a face double and a body double or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. I thought that this was in when you heard all the rumors about like there being like a fake Michael Myers, like a copycat or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I thought this, like I said, would have been an interesting spin that he takes like an understudy, but I don't know. I'd hate to say that if this movie accomplished nothing else, honestly, it did create the conversation that we hoped it would, probably even more so.
yeah.
But we were banking on this being our biggest, hottest topic movie wise that we've reviewed so far. So at least it accomplished that.
I liked Smile way better than this movie.
Smile scarier for sure. Smile scarier.
Yeah, this was interesting though, but I guess what I mean, a couple things I thought about it is, do you think that sheriff, he might be the worst at his job than anyone to ever grace
The
planet
black
Earth?
guy
He
with the
was-
cowboy hat.
No,
No.
I'm talking the old guy that wanted to fuck
Hawkins?
Laurie.
Hawkins?
Hawkins,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
He
yeah.
had multiple chances to kill Michael through all these movies, right? Doesn't kill him, okay? Then he goes to Laurie. He's like, you know what? I'm glad someone's looking after Corey. He's such a good kid. He got a bad rap. How did that work out for you, buddy? He ended up
Yeah,
killing
yeah,
like
moron,
7
you're right.
people. He's
a
legit
moron.
a moron with his big ass fucking cheeks. He got these weird ass cheekbones. And like them two, like at least let them fuck. They basically like were. The whole movie was foreplay between them two, right?
know.
They
It was,
should
like,
have been together off the rip.
off the rip.
Yeah.
They
They
should have just
should
been
have been a-
together.
they should have
the
been a
4-year
couple.
jump. Yep, and then don't show the flirt scene. Just been like, okay, he's coming down for coffee. Like they're together. Like that's how it should have been.
1,000%.
But she was probably like, he's such a fuck up. I can't be with him.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
that's how bad of at his job than he is. Meteorologists are better at their job than he's at his job.
Yeah.
Insane. And then my favorite quote of the movie, I wrote it down. Obviously, you
Oh
guys
yes,
know what it's
please.
gonna be.
This is
You need to meet someone that can let go, that makes you want to show grief your fucking tits and say, "Let's go."
yeah. That's the one line of the movie that Danny McBride wrote. By
He
the way,
definitely wrote
That's-
that, and it was
yeah.
like, and that it just coming out of her mouth, like Jamie Lee Curtis's mouth.
It
was
seemed
like,
kind of out of place too.
And
I
then
was
she's
just,
dropping, then the pumpkin seeds drop on the ground. It's just kind of wild.
Yeah, it's sometimes you
Yeah.
got to tell people to suck your fucking dick.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I just like they made
But
like
that made me like the movie.
they made the
though.
whole-
I
That one
did think
too,
that
like,
was hilarious.
If that wasn't in it, I don't know if I'd like it. as
Yeah, it
much.
was a
Yeah,
great
that's
moment
true.
of levity. I gotta
Yeah,
say, it was good.
they made the whole town like so toxic.
I know everybody's a scumbag.
Everybody
huh?
was so toxic that the whole town they all blamed fucking Lori.
I think that's what they're trying to
What?
say though. Like, weren't they trying to say like it infested the like evil infested?
like
Yes,
the
I,
whole
like
town?
the fact that
exactly.
Lori
They
never
were.
told either of those two people to go fuck themselves.
I know.
I would.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
crazy.
that's
Well, because
ridiculous.
the problem is she feels like she does feel to blame.
I don't know how.
She had him. She
This guy-
she set the guy on fire. He didn't die, and then he wreaked like havoc.
Okay,
killing,
she
like,
didn't go.
everybody.
Yeah, but she didn't go extinguish the fucking fire
Which-
and like
do you
open the
know-
door and let the guy
There
out.
was like a
Let it
lot of
burn,
really.
let it
There was a
burn.
lot of really cool things in this movie that like the at the very beginning the lady hanging.
Yeah.
Do you remember the lady
Yeah.
hanging?
No.
That was Oscar's mother. Do you know who Oscar is?
No.
The friend that tried to kiss Allison and then like got stuck on the fence.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that
okay.
was his mother. So it's like there was a lot of really cool little.
Yeah,
things.
that's a subtle thing that's cool. Like that's it. You know,
So
they,
they-
Well, he's watched it 6 times, so
I've watched it 4 times already.
have you really?
Yeah.
You're a fucking
so he
weirdo.
catches all this.
I'm
shit.
a Halloween fan.
I know.
I like the movies.
So
in
they
general.
they
I
it was
watched
a
the
it was
bad
a
ones, I watched
disappointment.
the
though.
good ones. I was disappointed.
Okay, I can agree. I think everyone can agree.
Jay
was very
Fine, do you have any
disappointing.
takes on this?
I mean, I said to you guys, I was like, I thought it was definitely off compared to the other couple movies, but like I liked it as a standalone movie.
You
Like, I
saying
was
that,
in-
you randomly saying that in like the middle of the movie too was fucking hilarious with me, you and Tommy sitting in the
Yeah,
seats.
I did. yeah, 'cause-
Jay Fine just goes, I like it.
yeah,
In the
honestly,
middle of the thing.
because I was very entertained, and I think all of our reactions initially were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, even though that was my reaction, I was like, I like it in a weird way.
Me
Like, you
too.
know what
I
I
said
mean?
the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, this
yeah.
is
Same
odd.
here.
This is oddly keeping my attention, and
It's
I
oddly satisfying.
oddly satisfying, begrudgingly so too, because I'm like, I should like. It's aggravating. Like I feel like I should be watching something else, but I'm actually kind of content with what I'm watching right
Right.
now. I also thought, I mean, from the first little opening part of the movie
That might have been the best part
with
of
the
whole
kid
movie.
on the
yeah.
fucking thing, I was like,
That was awesome.
I thought that was gonna set the tone
That was
for
a
the whole movie.
great opening
Right.
10 minutes.
I was
scene.
like,
I
oh
love
my
that
god,
scene.
this is awesome! Like, what the fuck are we
It was a
doing here? This
great-
is
Yeah,
great.
that was
opening
brutal.
scene.
Right.
When that kid just fucking skadooshes off the
You
ground, I
never
was,
see
oh,
kids die either.
no, I was
No.
like,
That was
good,
awesome.
fuck that
And
little
well,
kid. That's
because
awesome.
they did. They faked you out a couple times, right? They kept keying in on the bread knife, making it,
Yeah.
and then the bread knife goes missing.
You kept thinking he was gonna
and then-
snap and like be like and carve this kid
Or
up. or
Michael
something.
was
Right.
there.
Or
Or
Mi-
Michael
right,
was
you
there,
exactly.
right.
That's what everyone
right.
was waiting for.
That Michael was
Michael
there.
was
Yep.
there.
And I love that it wasn't something corny. It was definitely something that like realistically like could happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That he gets
absolutely.
I thought he was gonna like break down the door and lose his temper and fucking like strangle the kid
Beat
by
the shit
accident,
out of
beat
the
the shit out of
kid
him or
or-
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought what he was locked in. I thought once he got locked up there, that Michael Myers was gonna come and murder the kid, and then he was gonna get blamed for it.
Yeah.
See, Jay
That's what I
Fine, look
thought.
at that. That's
That's what I thought.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
thought.
that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, so I guess like three things that like I took from the movie was that the scene of the kid dying, some of the jokes, how Michael wasn't in it, and then how Tommy Garino's a savage. The whole movie he wore with no shoes on. He took his shoes off. He
Did
said
he really?
he had his shoes
He
off the
did.
whole
I
time. I
didn't
really
know that.
wanted him to be here for this. He popped off his shoes and was just sitting there with his socks on, straight up, just like lounging back like he was in his house. Like he
That's
was
fucking
like
hilarious.
he
I
was
never
in
noticed.
EC,
I
he
was
was in
standing next to
Orient
him.
Heights, back at his home with his mother. He had his fucking feet up. Yeah, you didn't notice that?
I didn't know that. I didn't even notice.
I really wanted him on the podcast. To
He was
talk about
polluted
that.
too. He hated the movie. I mean, like maybe in retrospect he might like it, but like I know he hated it.
And
he-
I think personally, like me going into this movie, my mood was just like aggravated. I was
Well-
aggravated. Like my food like wasn't that good.
Justin
at the
had the
restaurant.
It
worst
matters, it
night.
matters, yeah.
Justin had the worst night.
How were your drinks?
The drinks were not my favorite. I rolled the dice. I got like the two shitty drinks. I had
How about Tommy rolling the dice and getting a fucking tequila soda? By the way, did you see that?
no.
Yeah, that was one of the drinks that he got. Tommy's like,
Was
"The
it?
fuck is this?" Yeah, like, buddy, what?
Well, I guess it's. I mean, everyone loves a tequila soda.
Yeah, I
no?
mean, maybe.
So like and like my food sucked. It was like fucking hamburger helper, the fucking lamb skewers that I got, and like the atmosphere
it's
was
a dumb
cool. like,
order. It's a bad order. Though.
it was a bad order.
this is
like, that's
Parlor
my fault.
21 in
And-
Somerville and Assembly Row. Fuck this place.
But I
no, it's not
I,
that bad.
No, it's
I
not
enjoyed
that bad.
mine.
It's
I
not,
would-
it's not that bad.
I thought the atmosphere was nice in there. Don't get me wrong. So then we're like we go buy our snacks, and right before the movie starts, your sister's like, "Hey, did you see that your ex has a new boyfriend?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
was
like-
it was a
yeah.
weird.
Skylar's a fucking moron for doing this. She's the stupidest.
It's a weird
person.
thing to say to
And then-
somebody.
and
Yeah,
then-
it's a weird.
And then your wife's like, "You did not just tell him that. I didn't want him to know." And then Nico's like, "Yeah, I seen them. Blah blah blah." I'm like, she's like, "He's a coke dealer." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
wow.
this is ridiculous.
So
I
then-
mean that. Yes, you were already in a bad mood to start.
So then now we get this movie on top of it,
Yep.
and I'm just fuming.
And then you leave.
Hey, then what
And
happens when you
that's
go
it.
home?
And then I'm just like, I'm on my ride home, and Tommy is just yapping in my ear of just how amazing this movie was, and I like haven't even digested it, and I'm like already aggravated. And then I hydroplane, my car's spinning around, and I just annihilate my car into a Jersey barrier, just smash the whole
The
front end
whole
of my
front
car.
end of the thing is done. So
it's
where
just like-
where were you when you like hit the
I
thing?
was on
One,
Route
right?
1, yeah.
No, but like, where were you in front of? Like, just like proximity wise, were you in front of like that Dunkin' Donuts? Like,
No, I was almost at like the
Cappies.
No, that was before that. Do you know where like you go over the hill, like right before the Sergeant Street exit? I would say, or like right after. Right
Okay, so
where-
like between the movies and like North Revere.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, okay, got you. So yeah, what a night.
Then now my back's been hurting for like 2 days. I'm just like,
And your back is like one fucking vertebrae away from being in a fucking.
yeah, my
Do you know who
back's
else
already
back is
sucks.
hurting? Your ex-girlfriend.
This kid's a scumbag.